Let me guess, your basil is growing tall and leggy, and those leaves are getting bitter and it's starting to flower, and you're probably thinking, mate, I'm doing something wrong. But here's the truth, you're probably not pruning it correctly. You see, most people wait too long to prune, they cut it in the wrong spots, or they don't prune at all. And that's why their basil either flowers too early, tastes bitter, or just grows into a tall, sparse tower with hardly any leaves. But today I'm going to show you the exact pruning technique that turns leggy basil into a massive bushy plant that produces leaves for months. And I'll show you when to start pruning, exactly where to cut, and how often to do it. As well, I'm going to show you the science behind why it works. Plus, stick around to the end. I'll show you how to turn your pruned cuttings into free basil plants using a simple propagation trick. Let's get into it. Righto. So before we get into the how, let's talk about the why. Because once you understand what's happening inside your basil plant, pruning stops being this scary thing and becomes incredibly logical. Basil has something called apical dominance. It's a fancy term for a simple concept. The main growing tip at the top of the plant, let's call it the boss, produces a hormone called auxin that flows down the stem and tells all the side shoots to stay small. It's basically saying, I'm growing up, everyone else stay put. But when you cut off that top growing tip, you remove the boss. The auxin stops flowing, and suddenly all of those dormant side buds, the ones that were sitting there waiting, get the green light to grow. Here's where it gets interesting. Every time you cut above a node, that's the spot where two leaves attach to the stem, two new branches grow from that exact point. One cut, two branches. Those two branches grow, you cut them again, and now you've got four branches. It's exponential growth. Now, research from the University of Vermont found that regularly pruned basil plants produce 2.7 times more harvestable leaves over 10 weeks compared to unpruned plants. That's not a small difference. That's massive. And here's what happens if you don't prune. Your basil grows tall and leggy with most of the leaves clustered at the top. Eventually it flowers. Once it flowers, the leaves turn bitter, like incredibly bitter, and the plant stops producing new leaves altogether because it's gone into reproduction mode. It's trying to make seeds. Game over. So pruning isn't optional if you want basil that's bushy, productive, and tastes good. It's essential. But before we go on, can you do us a favour? Hit that like and subscribe button. It won't cost you anything, you won't get any spam from it. It's just that that's the fuel that our videos need to keep the channel growing. Alright, so when do you actually start pruning? This is one of the most commonly asked questions. And the answer is once your basil seedling reaches about 15 to 20 centimetres tall. Now that's about 6 to 8 inches for my American viewers, and has at least 3 to 4 sets of true leaves. True leaves are the ones that actually look like basil leaves, not the first two rounded leaves that pop up when a seed sprouts. Those are called cotyledons or seed leaves, and they don't count. But at this stage, your plant is probably just one main stem, and this is where you make your first cut. You're going to cut the main stem back to just above the second set of leaves from the bottom. This might feel drastic. You're removing the top third of the plant, but this early pruning is what triggers bushier growth from the start. It doubles your plant right out of the gate. Instead of one stem, you now have two. Now, I know some of you might have bought basil transplants from the garden centre that are already bigger than 15 to 20 centimetres. Don't worry, you can still prune them back. Same principle. Cut back by about 1/3 just above the set of the side shoots, and the plant will respond by branching out. From that first cut, you'll wait about 2 to 3 weeks before you prune again. During the growing season, that's spring through summer here in Melbourne, which runs from September through February, you'll want to prune every 2 to 3 weeks to keep the plant bushy and prevent flowering. In hot weather, when temperatures push above 27 degrees Celsius, it's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, your basil might grow even faster, so keep an eye on it. You might need to prune a little more frequently. Now let's talk a little bit more about where to cut, because this is where most people get it wrong. You need to understand what a node is. A node is that point between the stem where the two leaves attach, one on each side. It's a small bump or joint on the stem. If you look closely, you'll see tiny growth points, little baby leaves sitting right at that junction where the leaf meets the stem. Those are your dormant buds. That's where the new branches will come from. And here's the rule. Always cut about 6 mil to just over a centimetre above that node. That's 1/4 to 1/2 inch. You want to leave a tiny bit of stem above the node, but not too much. If you cut too far above the leaf, you leave a bare stub and that won't regenerate. If you cut below the node, you remove those dormant buds and the plant can't branch from that spot. So make an angle cut with clean, sharp scissors or pruning shears. An angle cut helps water run off instead of sitting on the cut surface, which reduces the risk of rot and disease. I use herb pruning shears for this. They're lightweight, sharp, and they give you precision. You can also use your fingers to pinch off the tips if the stems are still soft and young, but for thicker stems you might need scissors. Tearing the stem by hand can damage the plant and introduce pathogens. And here's a critical mistake people make. Picking leaves from the bottom of the plant. Don't do that. Those big bottom leaves are the powerhouses of photosynthesis. They're feeding the whole plant. If you remove them, you weaken the plant and it won't grow as vigorously. Always harvest from the top and work your way down as you need to. And when you cut from the top, you're not only harvesting basil, you're also encouraging that plant to branch out and grow bushier. Another thing, never remove more than 1/3 of the plant's height at once. If you over prune, you shock the plant. It doesn't have enough leaves left to photosynthesize properly and its growth will slow down or even stop. So be strategic. Take what you need, but leave enough behind. All right, let's talk about flowering, because this is the enemy of good basil. Basil is an annual plant, which means its natural life cycle is to grow, flower, produce seeds, and then die. Once it starts flowering, the plant shifts all its energy into reproduction. Leaf production stops. The leaves that are already there start to turn bitter, and I mean properly bitter, like tongue-numbing, peppery, inedible bitter. And here's the kicker. Once the leaves go bitter, they don't come back to being sweet. You can pinch off the flowers and the new leaves that grow after that might taste better, but the existing bitter leaves, they're done. So your job is to prevent flowering for as long as possible. And the way you do that is by pinching off the flower buds as soon as you see them. By about week 6 of growth, you need to start checking your plants closely. Look for tight green pointed buds forming at the tips of the stems. Don't wait until they've opened into lovely white flowers. Catch them early when they're just starting to form, about the size of a pea, and pinch them right off at their base. Check your plants every week during the growing season. If you spot a flower bud, pinch it off immediately. This tells the plant, no, we're not reproducing yet, keep making leaves. Flowering is triggered by a few things. long daylight hours, high temperatures, as well as stress. During summer, basil is especially prone to bolting. That's when it suddenly shoots up a flower stalk. You can't always control the weather, but you can control pruning. Regular pruning and harvesting actually delay flowering because the plant is constantly regenerating new growth instead of maturing into its reproductive phase. And if you've been a bit neglectful and your basil has already flowered, don't panic. Cut the plant back hard. Remove all the flowering stems down to the lower set of leaves and let it regrow. It might take a couple of weeks, but you can often salvage it. That said, if it's late in the season and the plant is already gone fully to seed, it's probably easier just to start fresh with a new plant. All right, I reckon it's worth us just going through some of the biggest mistakes people make when pruning basil, because I see these all the time and I've made them all myself as well. And the good thing is that they're completely avoidable. Mistake number one is picking individual leaves instead of cutting stems. When you pluck off a single leaf here and there, you're not stimulating new growth. The plant just keeps growing from that same stem. You end up with a bare, ugly stems and no branching. Instead, cut entire stems just above a node like we discussed. That forces the plant to branch. Mistake number two is using dirty tools. If your scissors or shears are dirty, you risk introducing disease. Basil is prone to fungal infections, and an unclean cut is an open door for all those bugs. Wipe down your tools with like rubbing alcohol or wash them with soapy water before you prune. Mistake number three is cutting in the wrong spots. I've already covered this, but it's worth repeating. If you cut below a node, you're just cutting off the growth points. The plant can't branch from that spot anymore. Always cut above a node. Mistake number four is, over pruning. If you take off more than a third of the plant at once, you will put it into stress. Leave enough foliage behind so the plant can keep photosynthesizing and recover. Mistake number five is not having a pruning schedule. If you only prune when you remember or when the plant looks too tall, you've probably already waited too long. Set a reminder every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season. Give your basil a haircut. It'll reward you with a massive bushy growth. And mistake number 6 is ignoring flowering. Once you see those flower buds, you're on borrowed time. Don't put it off. Pinch them immediately. So, does all of this that we've been talking about really work? All right, I'm going to show you a bit of data. A study on basil spacing and pruning found that plants grown at 20 by 20 centimetre spacing pruned after the 5th node produced the highest fresh yield, 735 grams per plant at the second harvest. That's compared to just 72 grams for plants grown at tight spacing and pruned too low. That's a 10-fold difference. Another trial showed that increasing the height at which you prune, like cutting higher on the plant instead of too low, increased fresh mass yield by 67%. And in terms of long-term productivity, research from commercial growers found that with proper pruning, a single basil plant can produce 15 to 25 cups of leaves per season. That's a lot of pesto. So the key takeaway, pruning isn't just good practice, it's scientifically proven to multiply your harvest. Every cut you make is an investment in future growth of your plant. All right, here is the bonus I promised you at the start. You can turn your prune basil cuttings into brand new plants for free. Basil roots incredibly easy in water. So here's how you do it. When you prune, take those top 10 to 15 centimetre cuttings, or 4 to 6 inches, and remove all of the lower leaves. You want at least 1 or 2 nodes on the stem with the leaves stripped off and a few leaves left at the top. Those top leaves will keep photosynthesizing while the plant grows new roots. Then take a glass or jar of water. Clear glass is more enjoyable because you can watch the roots develop, and place the cuttings in the water. Make sure the nodes are submerged, but the top leaves are above the waterline. Put the jar somewhere with bright indirect light. Change the water every few days to keep it fresh and oxygenated. And in about 1 to 4 weeks, you'll see roots start to form from those nodes. Once the roots are a few centimeters long and have a nice intricate structure, you can then transplant the cuttings into soil. Now, here's a tip. Avoid taking cuttings from basil plants that have already started flowering. Those cuttings will carry the bitter flavour and the new plant won't perform as well. Always take cuttings from healthy, non-flowering growth. You can even do this with store-bought basil. Those bundles of cut basil from the supermarket or farmer's market, if they're fresh and perky, give the stem a fresh cut and stick them in the water. About half the time they'll root. This technique means you can keep a continuous supply of basil going. Prune your existing plants, propagate the cuttings, and by the time your first plant is finishing up, your new plants are just getting started. Okay, let's cover off what we've just spoken about. So the first lesson is that pruning works because it breaks that apical dominance. Each cut above a node creates 2 new branches, and then that leads to exponential growth. The second lesson was start pruning when your basil is 15 to 20 centimeters tall with 3 or 4 sets of true leaves. Then prune every 2 to 3 weeks during your growing season. The third lesson is always cut above a node, never below, and never remove more than 1/3 of the plant at once. And the fourth, pinch off flower buds immediately. Once basil flowers, the leaves turn bitter and the plant stops producing. And lesson 5 is avoid common mistakes. Don't pick the bottom leaves, use clean tools and stick to a schedule. And lesson 6, use your prune cuttings to propagate new plants in water. Free basil for life. Now I want to hear from you. What is your biggest challenge with growing basil? Are you struggling with leggy plants, flowering, or just not knowing when to prune? Drop your experience in the comments, and if you've got a pruning tip that works for you, share it. I, as well as everyone else, would love to hear it. Pruning basil is one of those simple techniques that makes a massive difference. Do it right, do it regularly, and you'll have bushy, productive plants that keep giving you fresh basil all season long. Now get out there and give your basil a haircut.